Femme House fam, what's happening? You are here for another episode of Femme House Radio, Pass the Mic Edition. I am here with the wonderful DJ Shannon, one of my favorite DJs. I can't wait for y'all to hear from her directly, and more importantly, I can't wait for y'all to support her music going forward. DJ Shannon, what
Hey,
up?
what's going on? I'm good. Feeling energized, but a little scattered. Like I feel like the retrograde is getting me.
The retrograde combo eclipse season, combo Aries season is
Crazy.
to be reckoned with.
Yes.
Everybody is a little bit up, we'll say.
This is true.
Yeah, we'll make it through though. So tell us, DJ Shannon, about your origin story. Like, what brought you here to this moment with me right now?
Yeah, it's wild. It's been a crazy. Wow, I've been DJing now for about 6, 7 years, but it's been a crazy one, filled with twists and turns. But it's cool to be here. I would say the DJ story really started in about 2015, 2016. I was really at a crossroads in my life. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I just lost a pretty important radio job that I was doing at the time, and I was at that crossroads where I didn't really know what I wanted to do next. And so I thought I'd take a little bit of a long shot and go out to China to be with my sister, who was teaching at the time out there. And lo and behold, I stumble upon this incredible music scene out in Chongqing, China. It's about southwestern China. And started going to this open decks night at this club called Echo Bay, which is foundational to my DJ story. And it all started there, just kind of tinkering around with the setup and having supportive friends along that journey to help me and teach me. And now I'm here. So,
That's so awesome because I ask every DJ that I interview the
yeah.
same question, and typically, no matter where the story takes place, no matter the context of the story, the DJ superhero origin story tends to start with a great loss and
Mm,
a tremendous amount of support, whether that be in a newfound community, in community that's always been there, in family, in the music itself, in the scene itself, and I think that's what makes dance music really really special.
mm.
What is sort of like so you're in China, and you find this music scene. What is it that pulled you in? What's the community that you found there that sort of empowered you not just to join them, but
Yeah.
to become the DJ Shannon that we all know and love?
Yeah, it really started with that support and just wanting to learn and finding mentors. I think that's so key for anybody that is interested in pursuing any kind of craft. But I was lucky enough to have people that were really thick into the electronic dance techno scene in China. And they were putting on these open deck nights as a way to just kind of make friends, but also to pull other people into the scene that were new to China and were eager to have a little bit of taste of home. Because I had already been a music head. I loved the electronic music. Hip hop is where I really started to learn my craft. But yeah, learning and making friends in that process was so foundational. And that really just kind of helped me to hone my skills and meet other like-minded folks. And out of that sharing and practicing, I met two buddies of mine named Tronic and Justin. And out of our love from hip hop, we started this party called Soundcheck in China, Chongqing, China, which became really popular in the city because at that time there wasn't a lot of like hip hop focused parties.
Hmm.
And it started there, started kind of learning how to do those fast cuts, watching other DJs that we would bring on that were like phenomenal with vinyl. And it kind of just spiraled from there, just me wanting to keep learning and keep perfecting my craft.
That's amazing. Do you live in Chongqing now?
No,
All
I'm
is said
back
and
in
done.
New York City. The pandemic brought me back, sadly.
Sadly, what are your touch points to the community there still?
Yeah, so we had the club still there, which is phenomenal, and I think a lot of people were really touched by that because it brought something new to the city. So that culture is still going on there. I still have a lot of close friends that are involved in the scene that are trying to come here now to tour, and hopefully I can go back there in August and tour. So I'm still kind of I have one foot in, but I'm back here and trying to make things shake. But it's happening, surprisingly.
Incredible. What did you learn from that time in China, and sort of like what I have to assume is sort of like your first touch point into DJ culture and finding mentors and like being a mentor and learning and support and all the things that make us the thing that we do. Like, what did you learn from that you bring to New York now, that you bring to your career now?
Oh, yeah. I think it's a sense of fearlessness.
Mm.
I tend, what you'll hear in the mix on the show is I tend to really dibble and dabble between all kinds of genres. And for me, I really get excited connecting those dots between, different eras of music, different styles and shades of whether it be dance music, hip hop, jazz even I'm finding myself loving these days. So I've learned how to take a risk on the dance floor, and I've allowed myself to not really be dictated by the dance floor, but rather pull people into what I'm trying to say in my story. And that's resonating with me here now with my sets in New York as well.
Amazing.
Hmm.
And what I know you have a club management podcast,
Yeah.
and I want to actually excuse you and the listeners because I want to get this so right, because I
Yeah.
really loved the verbiage around this.
Hmm.
It says Club Management Podcast explores music's ability to bridge communities around the world.
Hmm.
How are you bridging communities around the world, and how
Yeah.
are the folks that you're meeting in this profession doing the same?
Oh, of course. That's such a beautiful question. Club management really started in China for me because I was just so amazed by the amount of talent and the folks that I was meeting out there that I had to document it somehow. So I started interviewing my homies, crews that were doing interesting things around China. And it really kind of carried its way back when I made my way back to New York City in 2019. It's about showcasing people that are not only doing incredible things music wise in their community, but how they're really helping the next generation or the next friend or someone else that wants to come into the scene excel at this and be great. So that's what I love, is that not only is this about community, but it's about teaching folks how to get into this thing, do it on an excellent level, and really excel.
Yeah, that's awesome. Fem houses, our bread and butter will always be education, right? Um, and part of that education that we hold so near and dear to what we do is representation. So much of history,
Mhm.
so much of culture is oral. It's passed down through
Yeah.
lived experience. It's passed down through doing it, through living it,
Right.
through being present in it and being a significant part of it. And I think in dance music, especially, right, it's important, especially as culture and society in general tends to move forward on this technological basis, right, where we're
Right.
very rarely writing things down, but rather documenting things. I think that club management podcasts and this radio show and the things that Femme House do, like, it's all part of the same goal, which is making sure that this endures and that the people that were doing it um, at a grassroots level, like on the ground with their
Hmm.
communities, with their people, with their tribes, live
Yeah.
on,
You know, I,
past us.
just to add to that, I think you mentioned something so beautiful. There's a history component with a lot of my club management episodes. I like folks to know about the history of where all this incredible music comes from and where even the craft of DJing comes from.
Right.
Great example. We just had DJ Sneak on the latest episode. I mean,
Awesome.
foundational to Chicago house music.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of younger DJs playing his tunes, but they might not really know his story. So to have that archive where people can learn is so critical, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. So I just want to say thank you for doing that work. It's so important
Yeah.
to preserving our cultural significance and preserving our history.
Thank you.
You got some shows coming up. Tell the people that are listening where to find you.
Oh my God, my head's spinning with how many shows.
That's a good thing.
It's a beautiful thing. I'm not complaining. But you could find me on Instagram. I'm at Shannon1DJ on Instagram. I no longer have Twitter because it's getting a little chaotic over there.
Very
Um,
much bad, yes.
but yeah, I just came back from Chicago last weekend, which was so much fun. But you can catch me here in New York City all throughout May. And wait, well, we're in April right now, so you can catch me all throughout April and in May. I'm actually going to Detroit. I'll be playing a show at Temple Bar for Movement, which I'm really excited about. And it's going to be my first Movement. I've never been to the Movement Music Festival. So I'm excited.
Yeah, the Femme House girlies have never been to Movement either, and we're trying to put together like a meetup or something. So I'll keep you abreast on that. But we've got a bunch of homies playing, and our dear friend Holographic is Detroit, you know, and DJ Mix, another friend of ours, is Detroit. So we're trying to pull the girlies together at least for some hugs or something.
Yes, I would love to link up with y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out in Seattle in July as well, playing at the Timber Room with the House Party Sea Crew. So that's gonna be dope. I've never been to Seattle, first time.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I know you sort of touched on what we could expect from your mix, and you said you dibble, you dabble, you pull from a lot of genres. What should the folks expect from this 45 minutes that we get to spend with you today?
Oh my goodness, all shades of Shannon and what I love listening to. You know, we start out on a really beautiful UK garage tip, listening to a little bit of Carrie Chandler. I think I have a Big Cat track in there as well, who's foundational to the UK garage scene. And then on the back end, we have some harder dance tracks from just some folks that I really love coming out of LA. And it's gonna be cool. I take you on a ride for this one, and I really love how it turned out.
That's awesome. What's your favorite thing that you're listening to right now, just as a music fan?
Oh my God, UK Garage, definitely hands down. I think that you can hear that in a lot of my lot radio shows because I'm a resident there, and it gives me so much time to just play around with all those sounds. I am just a huge fan of the sound, and I'm trying to get in production. I hope that I can lend that flavor to the history that music has, you know, given to people over the years, and yeah, I love it.
Incredible. A final question, and I ask it of everyone that I speak to in this capacity. If you're sitting down with young Shannon before that young girl is DJ Shannon, what do you say to that girl as your current self?
Wow, I would say I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you for going and just doing it with the fear, nerves, and all. And I just hope you keep excelling and keep showing up and being great.
Incredible. Well, DJ Shannon, we're so proud of you. We're so proud to support you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you're doing in your community to further this culture, to further Black culture, to for femme culture, and everything you're doing with the podcast and keeping one foot in China, one foot in New York, and hopefully hopefully it's giving octopus a little bit, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna see you doing your thing around the world. So thank you for sharing your time, your culture, and your expertise and your joy with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Femme House fam, it's been another episode of Femme House Radio, Pass the Mic Edition. This is the wonderful DJ Shannon. I am your co-founder and executive director, her Mix-a-Lot. See you next time, boo. Bye.
Yeah.